Don't let them know what you're doing. 6 ruthless lessons from Jim Rohn. The most expensive mistake an amateur can make is bragging about grand plans before they even have a chance to take shape. Right now, I want you to pause and look at the brutal truth. You are standing on the threshold of 30, 35, or maybe you've already hit 40. Deep down, you have this burning desire for financial freedom. But why is everything still standing still? The answer lies right in your mouth. Every time you blurt out a plan, every time you post a new goal just to chase a few cheap likes on social media, the precious energy that should have gone into execution vanishes into thin air. You are tricking your brain into feeling accomplished, while in reality, your pockets are still empty. Jim Rohn, the legendary mentor to masters, once left us with a powerful warning. Success is not something you pursue. It is something you attract by the person you become. And hear this clearly. That powerful version of you cannot be born in a noisy crowd. It can only be forged in absolute silence. Remember this. Silence is never a sign of weakness or cowardice. On the contrary, it is the ultimate expression of hyperfocus, the mental state of those who actually run the game. We live in an era where superficial showmanship is celebrated, where people are addicted to validation before they even create real value. You are burning through your mental capital on empty talk instead of pouring it into massive action. For those carrying the heavy burden of being the main provider for their family, silence is your protective shield. Keeping your intentions private preserves your energy, stops it from leaking through pointless conversations, and builds a fortress against low-key envy. This world doesn't necessarily want you to get rich, especially when everyone else is staying in the exact same place. Working in the dark means you give up the need to explain yourself to the world. You don't need to justify why you chose this path. You don't need to excuse your early mistakes, and you don't need anyone's applause. The only person you have to face and answer to is the reflection in the mirror. True discipline isn't about the flashy slogans yelled at motivational seminars. Real discipline is what you do at 5 a.m., when the rest of the world is fast asleep, when there are no cameras and no audience to witness your grind. Jim Rohn taught us that all massive success is simply the result of small disciplines, practiced consistently every single day. You say you want to change your financial reality? Then start by ruthlessly managing every single dollar in total secrecy. No complaining about shortages, no bragging about how much you're saving. Just quietly cut out the waste and silently stack the bricks for your empire. Never tell the world what skills you are learning. Don't take pictures of the books you just bought to post on your story for a few cheap reactions. That is a fatal trap of vanity. Instead, let your wisdom manifest through the way you handle crises and through the sharp, decisive choices that leave everyone else stunned. Have you ever looked at the roots of a tree? Never. They grow in the cold, dark earth, but that silent hustle is exactly what determines the height of the leaves and the sweetness of the fruit. If you only focus on grooming a polished exterior while neglecting the grind in the dark, you will shatter the moment the first storm hits. There is a brutal truth from Jim Rohn that most people get wrong. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The mistake amateurs make is causing a scene, cutting people off dramatically, or picking fights. The wise clean up their circle in absolute silence. They simply fade away. Take a step back, keep your mouth shut, and observe objectively. Who is actually pushing you forward, and who is using care and concern to drag you back down into mediocrity? Silently look for new rooms, spaces where people who are smarter, wealthier, and more driven than you gather. In those rooms of power, the golden rule is to listen more than you speak. Don't try to force your presence. Jim Rohn taught that to attract elite people, you must become a person of value. And the first value you can offer is the humility to learn in silence. Eagles fly alone. Only sparrows need a flock to feel safe. There is an unwritten rule in the world of true wealth. Money loves privacy. Learn to run Jim Rohn's legendary 70-30 formula completely under the radar, like a covert agent on a mission to rewrite their destiny. Don't rush to buy a new car. Don't immediately upgrade your lifestyle just to prove a point to people who don't even care about you. Quietly build a freedom fund, a financial fortress that no one knows exists but you. As your investments silently compound in the dark, something magical happens. A rock-solid confidence begins to radiate from deep within your character. This isn't the fake confidence borrowed from a luxury watch or an expensive suit. It's internal power. The truly wealthy usually look incredibly ordinary. They wear simple t-shirts and carry a calm, quiet demeanor, but behind that quiet exterior is a massive cash flow pouring into their accounts while they sleep. Don't let your ego eat your wealth before it even has a chance to grow. A day will come when you can no longer hide your success. Not because you broke your vow of silence to brag, but because the aura of your confidence, your rock-solid wealth, and your deep wisdom will become too massive and too bright to be contained in the dark. When you step into the light, the crowd, lazy in their own thinking, will gather around you with shocked questions. They will label you as lucky, blessed, or an overnight success. They will call it a miracle. But in that exact moment, just smile and hold on to your final piece of silence. Because only you know the truth about the sleepless nights, the sweat poured out in secret, and the iron discipline you maintained for years when there was absolutely no one around to cheer you on. You are no longer a sheep in the herd. You have officially become the alpha. My friend, building yourself in silence is not about hiding from the world. It is about preparing to conquer it. Jim Rohn left a legacy, and now it's your turn to write your story. If you belong to the 1% who are truly serious and made it to the very end of this video, leave a comment with just 2 words, silence, right below. No explanations, nothing else. Just those 2 words. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next mindset weapon. Now get out there, work in silence, and let your success make the noise. I'll see you at the top.